Cyber Reapers. Hello, Cyber Reapers. So, tonight, or today, whenever, wherever you are, I would like to talk about a book. So, I'd like to talk about The Art Thieves by Andrea L. And this book, I'm trying to remember where I found it or how I found it. I think it was, I think I was looking on Libby, and I just happened to see, a list of, indigenous authors on there, and while looking through, I was going hey, is there a sci-fi book in here? And the list was yes, we got you. Sci-fi, here you go. So, that was super cool. Especially because I feel it feels oddly difficult to search up online a list of disabled authors and indigenous authors. For whatever reason, I don't know if I'm just not using the right keywords or what, but I can't just find it super easily online. Really, those kind of lists, I feel like I have to search up on social media or otherwise get shown to me via, the library. So, I'm trying to branch out, though, into reading more Native American authors. Well, not just Native American, but indigenous, all over the world, right? And so this is kind of me stepping into that. And this was a super cool book to do that with, especially because there are, the main character, her name is Stevie, right? Our main character, Stevie, she works at a museum gift shop. She does photography a little bit, and she lives in Texas, and this is future Texas, so near future. It's in 2052, so kind of near. And Stevie is Cherokee, so she's Native American, specifically part of the Cherokee tribe, and as a result, there are Cherokee words in this book. Not just Cherokee, there are other Native American languages in the book as well. And I just found that super cool, because anytime there's another language in a book besides English, I love to follow along by, especially in the ebook format, just tapping on the word and just looking it up and being okay, I want to know some more of the, context around this word, right? And thing is, with, on the Kindle app, it doesn't really have Cherokee in there as a translate from Cherokee to English. It doesn't have that, so I went out and found a couple of dictionary kind of places. One of them was a web base and the other was a PDF. And I just kind of searched through there whenever a word would come up, and a few of them I remember. So I remember thank you and you're welcome. That is, I remember how they're spelled. I don't know how they're pronounced. That I do want to look up. So I'm not going to try to say them because I'm worried I'll not say them correctly, but I remember how hello is spelled, goodbye, thank you and you're welcome, and there were a few others that I don't remember as well. But it was super cool, because I was hey, this is the first time I'm reading Cherokee in a book. That's awesome. And so, hopefully I'll read, more books that have more Cherokee or have more other Native American languages. Because, yeah, that was super cool. It did result in me having to look a little more for context, but I enjoyed that. It felt like I felt a little more engaged with the book as a result. Yeah. And so, sorry, that's kind of the thing that lingered with me, in terms of the not plot-related stuff of the book that I was excited about. But now into the plot-related stuff, right? Or the characters and that. So I mentioned this is in the 2050s. It's kind of near future. Climate change is a thing, and it's even worse at that time period. And essentially everything that is currently modern day, like, destructive, is just even more destructive in the future. So it's what, 27 years from now. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this book is pretty similar to how it is. It's not very, like, it's not setting the bar high for, like, technology advancements, but there is, like, enough technology development that you can tell it's been, like, some years from now. And yeah, so it's pretty much, you know, modern day for Stevie in 2052. For a little while, the book, Stevie is very connected with her community, in particular, like her family and friends, her co-workers, and just like the Native American people who are nearby. So, like, her co-workers, her neighbors, her friends, like, yeah, most of the cast is, almost all the cast is Native American, and people of color, and there are LGBT side characters as well as neurodivergent side characters, so that's super cool in terms of representation if you're looking for anything like that. This book definitely has that. Oh, also just another representation thing is the main character's younger brother, Stevie's younger brother. His name is Levi. Levi has a severe tree nut allergy, so in case you're looking for a representation like that as well, that's in there. And yeah, so speaking of Levi, Levi's a pretty big part of the book in the sense of the main character Stevie is very connected to her younger brother. She loves him very, very much, and he plays kind of a pivotal role in the book that unfortunately I can't tell you about because it's beyond the point of, like, the blurb, but I will say he's important. Who else is important? Alright, let's talk about Adam. Adam is the love interest. He starts working at the museum, and he's new. He starts working at the museum, and he was from far away, and actually that's funny that this part isn't a spoiler because it's in the blurb, but he is from the future. So this new guy, his name is Adam, he's from the future, and he's seen how much better it becomes later on down the line, but he's like 7 generations away from 2050, or 2052 to be specific, where Stevie is right now, or when Stevie is right now. And he knows that the world is about to essentially endure an apocalyptic situation. Just catastrophe everywhere, disease all over the place, and people just being at their worst for a while. And so he warns Stevie about that, and now she kind of has to figure out what she's going to do with that information. And yeah, I think the first half of the book is very, like, kind of character driven in a way, and then the second half of the book is more plot, more has to do with the world apocalyptic situation. So I'm just gonna give you a heads up on that. If you like kind of duality in your stories, that's a pretty neat way that it's told, where a lot of it is like Stevie's life before the decline of the world, and then just as the world begins to like descend into madness. So that's kind of the pacing of the book, from what I can tell you. And I thought that was very interesting. It kind of made me take a step back, because I was going, how much of the book is like really focusing on Stevie, and it does really build her life before, to where the important parts of the book, the focus is not as much on the dramatics of the world ending as much as it's on the community that is experiencing the world ending. And it's a really interesting perspective, bringing in, specifically Cherokee, but Native American in general, bringing in that perspective, knowing just how much history and modern day has really just not been fair, to say the least, toward them. And so seeing the world decline, and the rich suddenly being as penniless as the poor, and people at their worst and everything, it resets every person's values and everybody's situation for how they have to modify their lives to survive. And as a result, having the values of strong community and helping each other out and caring for the planet and caring for the land around you, becomes just more in the forefront, I would say. And it was a neat experience going through all that and going, wow, this book really does bring up a lot of interesting points on so many different topics, on discrimination, on land, on adjacently like colonialism, on, what else did I say? I had a whole list. Community and society and art. Art, of course. The title of the book is called The Art Thieves, and I guess I can kind of explain that a little bit, is that Adam, the love interest from the future, his mission, or part of his mission, is to come back to the past to essentially just take specific art pieces that are deemed important in the future, to take those art pieces and send them to the future, and then just put like replicas in their place as the world gets destroyed. No, it's not one of those books where they're trying to prevent things from happening badly. Like, they're already down the line knowing things are bad, or were bad, and they're going, no, we're not trying to stop it, we're just trying to, like, preserve history. And I find that a pretty cool time travel take. That the plot around the time travel doesn't actually involve trying to stop the bad events that are going to happen. So yeah, I feel like there isn't a lot of like high sci-fi, so if you're looking for something kind of like, well, I guess low sci-fi, or moderate sci-fi, this book kind of has that, because it has the time travel elements, and it has, set in the near future elements, and technology and stuff, post-apocalyptic, or apocalyptic maybe, because it's just as it happens. Yeah. All that is part of the sci-fi-ness of it. But yeah. Oh, I think I wanted to read a quote to you, by the way, because I included it. It's just, like, there are so many poignant there are so many poignant quotes from this book. Long ones and short ones, and this was one of the short ones that I wanted to say. It didn't occur to me then how many bird voices were missing, like the indigenous languages that had been murdered. And I was like, it's so vibrant, the cover, and I had a hard time editing it because, well, I mean, when I say editing it, I'm not like trying to change the cover. It's I take a photo of it in a certain lighting, and I'm taking a photo of the cover on a tablet, so it's reflecting light, and I'm trying to fix that as best as I can to actually show the cover instead of the light and stuff. But because there's like red and or reddish orange and blue on the cover, it was difficult to get that to work together in the editing and get rid of the yellow light. Yeah. Anyway, though, but it's beautiful. I love it. And yeah, I just realized I didn't actually give you a second to look at it. Here you go, in case you are watching on the screen. No worries, though, if you're just listening. I'm just going on and on. And also, I don't know if you've noticed, if you are watching, and if you're not watching, I'll just tell you, that I have a giant avocado plushie behind me. It's bigger than my cat, it's bigger than my head. It's a giant avocado plushie. And I have a little one too. I have an itty bitty one that I've shown on this channel before, but I found the big one at a thrift store, and I just thought it was adorable, so I got it. And now this side is, for once, the more... It's unbalanced on the plushies toward this side than that side. And, yeah. I just set them up every time I do this, and just hope that none of them fall over. So... And while we're on the subject of life updates, because, you know, an avocado plushie is a life update, I guess, I'm feeling less stressful this week in comparison to last week, so that's nice. So, yeah. And I am also kind of aware of I happened to read this book during the week of Thanksgiving. I didn't actually plan it that way, but, you know, I feel like it's actually a better way of, you know, spending my time reading this book this week, you know, rather than thinking about Thanksgiving being this week. Now, I mean, because we have the day off and stuff, it's, you know, nice to cook together and stuff as a family. But no, we do not want to celebrate colonialism. Yeah. Anyway, though, so I highly recommend it, though, you know, reading more Native American, indigenous perspectives. I'm just barely getting started, but I'm already, like, this book blew me away in terms of, like, so many different, like, things to contemplate. Even, like, story structure, too. Because I wasn't really sure what to expect from the ending, because I knew some things would be, you know, negative in terms of, like, tragedy was gonna happen, but I didn't know how much. I wouldn't say this book ends, though, in a way that is sad, to be clear. I think it is a positive ending, it's a happy ending. But, like, the world does, you know, still go through the bad stuff, just to be clear. So I didn't know exactly where the ending was gonna go, but I liked it. And I will tell you more about some more books soon enough. So, thank you so much for listening. You are an awesome listener. And I just realized also, don't mind the mic. I know this is so many minutes in, but that's what this is, in case you've been wondering. This green little blob here, that's my mic, my microphone. That's the cover. It's actually a karaoke mic cover, but I found it happened to fit on this microphone, so I'm using it so that it diffuses the sound a little more and is a little less harsh, my voice. So, just in case you've been wondering why there's this green thing here, that's why. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. especially to me just adding in random little thoughts at the end of this. You are an awesome listener, as I said. And I hope that wherever you go next, whatever you do next, that it is fun and or relaxing and or worthwhile to you. And ideally all three.